The king's evil, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis, or MTB, is a causative bacteria of tuberculosis, also known as TB. TB is the leading cause of death by a single microbe, contributing to 1.5 million deaths per year. 2 billion people are infected, but about 90 to 95% are unaware of infections. During the 11th century, TB was known as the king's evil, and it was believed that the royal touch of Edward the Confessor, King of England, could cure the disease.
MTB is a rod-shaped bacillus, typically 2 to 4 micrometers in length and 0.2 to 0.5 micrometers in width, that exists in clumped colonies. Over 60% of the bacteria's cell wall is composed of lipids, including glycolic acids, cord factor, and wax-D, which increase its ability to infect. The genome of MTB is one of the most advanced and largest bacterial sequences known. It consists of one circular chromosome, and the largest strain contains 4,293 genes. MTB is an obligate aerobe, requiring high oxygen levels to survive and grow, making the upper lobes of the lungs a perfect habitat. It is also a prototroph that can synthesize all metabolites from inorganic material, and a mesophile, meaning it grows best at human body temperature. Even in ideal habitats, MTB grows slowly due to its tough cell wall preventing passage of nutrients and wastes. The bacteria doubles about once per day and can take up to 6 weeks to become visible on a plate.
MTB was first discovered by Dr. Robert Koch on March 25, 1882. However, the disease TB has been around for many years, dating back 2,700 years in China. Traces have also been found within the bones of Egyptian mummies. It wasn't until the 1700s when TB became prevalent and classified as an epidemic. During this time, the disease was coined the White Plague and was the cause of every 1 in 4 deaths. During the 1880s, TB made its way into Western Canada, causing outbreaks that heavily affected the fur trade. TB continued to kill many people until 1946, when the first antibiotic to successfully kill TB bacteria was discovered, called streptomycin. In 2009, the United States faced an outbreak due to rapidly evolving resistant strains. Then in 2016, there was a devastating outbreak in Africa, causing 2.5 million people to fall ill. TB is around today, but is more controlled with antibiotics and the vaccine. However, resistant strains are still a problem, and public health is trying to overcome this by improving treatment and prevention strategies.
TB spreads through the air only, meaning the bacteria has to be inhaled to become infected. Only TB in the lungs or throat is infectious. TB in other parts of the body, such as the kidney or spine, is usually non-infectious. 2 conditions of TB exist. People with latent TB infection experience no symptoms, can spread TB, but they will still test positive for a tuberculin skin test and may develop TB disease if they do not receive proper treatment. People with TB disease can spread the TB bacteria, test positive for the skin test, and experience the symptoms listed on the diagram, such as bad cough, coughing blood, weight loss, etc. There are 5 stages of TB. The first stage is inhaling the mycobacterium, which is then taken up by alveolar macrophages. In the second stage, MTB grows inside the inactive macrophages. The macrophages become activated by T cells in stage 3 and contain the MTB. At this stage, the person has latent TB infection. Some macrophages might still be inactive, and the MTB continues to grow, leading to spread to other parts of the lung and eventually to hematogenous spread resulting in miliary TB. This marks stage 4. Stage 5 is a worse condition of stage 4, where the walls of the bronchi become necrotic and rupture.
There are 2 types of treatment for tuberculosis, collapsed lung therapy and antibiotics. The collapsed lung therapy uses nitrogen gas forced into the lung's pleural cavity with a pneumothorax needle. This causes the lung to collapse, the tissue to relax, and the TB cavities close off. The antibiotic treatment for TB takes longer than most antibiotic treatments and has 2 different courses depending on the stage of TB. For latent cases, INH antibiotic pills are used orally for 6 to 9 months, while in active cases, INH and 3 other antibiotics are used together over the course of 12 months. To prevent needing these treatments, the BCG vaccine is used, which is derived from a live, unharmful strain of Mycobacterium bovis. This vaccine works best in children and has a 60 to 80% effective rate. An individual's health and global location are the major risk factors for contracting TB. Health factors such as HIV/AIDS, old age, malnutrition, diabetes, alcohol and tobacco use compromise the immune system and thus increase the risk for contracting TB. People living in developing countries, and the ones highlighted in dark green on this map, account for about 2/3 of all TB infections. About 1/4 of the world's population is infected, but the infection is not yet active. Though TB is still prevalent today, the World Health Organization's goal is to have TB eradicated by 2050.
Thank
you
for
listening.